What's the Gauntlet Legends?
Yeah.
What was the other one? Food is good.
There's just people like us working at a game studio, like making sound effects. That's exactly what we would do.
Really good.
What's the sound effect for when a character gets health in the game? Great. I like it. Approved. No reason to go through corporate whatsoever.
There's been an awakening.
Shiggity shway, shiggity shwo. What do you know? I don't care.
Hello, what have we here?
You guys are so funny.
Hello.
Holy shit. It ain't C3 penis face and R2 dickhead.
Hello there.
Wait.
Found someone you have, I would say.
Grab the bottle!
May the force be with us. Fucking A.
Good day, Galaxy Rogue Squadron Podcast. Thank you guys for tuning in. Episode 150. We actually hit that's a mile marker there. I am Mopar.
I am Commander Cody, also known as Palpatine.
The Senate.
Also known as the Senate.
Invasion.
Such a he doesn't say that. A mile marker, you said. It's episode 150. Like, what's going on? Why have we been doing this for so long?
One big mile marker.
Why haven't we fizzled out for our hatred of Star Wars?
You know, I had a long, easy, and rough conversation with a bunch of other podcasters.
Yes, please go in. I'm sad I couldn't have joined. Talk about your yesterday.
So yesterday there was surprisingly I'm gonna keep saying because I hate saying it, so it'll take me less time.
Do that on your own time, not during the show, please.
Yeah, there was a local event in Lancaster, PA, with the Starbecue Podcast. And honestly, there was like 6 podcasts that showed up. It was all over the place. We had Steve Kirk come in from fucking San Diego. There was a lot of shit.
I think that was a surprise, wasn't it?
Oh, yeah.
Like people didn't know he was actually showing up.
Yes.
I wish I would have went. I'm sad.
Why is that?
Well, it seemed like you guys had a fucking good time. Any excuse to have barbecue and drink beer and talk about Star Wars sounds like a great excuse for anything. So, wish I would have gone, but we had prior plans that I couldn't ditch. So, I stayed here in Columbus.
Understandable.
You look like you're you're like writing a term paper right now. You look like you're researching.
I'm editing my resume right now. I just wanted to bring up, I wanted to get everybody. So the Starbecue Podcast is out of Delaware, Foden Bede. They were there. Rebel Cause was there. Rebel Cause Lancaster, which is, I'll give them a huge shout out. Brick City Blockade. There was a lot of good podcasts on there. But I will give a major shout out to Rebel Cause. They raise money for the homeless through events like that. So they had giveaway stuff, and they raised several $100s just having fun and drinking beer. So I like seeing people make a difference with cool, fun shit like that. So
I'll say, if there's a way to raise money, that's definitely it. Sounds like the best charity I've ever heard of.
Exactly. And it was a little I don't know why I can't think.
You haven't had the beer yet, obviously.
You know, we might just have to rumble into the beer real quick. It was a dive bar. It was a little like dive bar and they're known for like their wings.
Mm-hmm.
And they had just kind of a back room. I yelled at a lot of people. They wanted to have every person on that was like representing another podcast. Oh, I took over. It was bad. I feel bad. They got on there and started asking me questions, so I went fucking Don Vito on their ass and started Mundi.
Was it bad because you took over, or was it bad and then you took over?
It was both.
Wait, so you just mean because there was like a round table of so many people on a podcast? Is that what you're saying?
It was. So they just had like Foden Bede kind of ran the whole thing, and then I believe his name's Caden from Rebel Cause. They were like the 3 that were in and on the audio most of the time, and then they had like a revolving musical chair of guest stars come in and yell. And I think they saved me for the last for obvious reasons because I was just gonna take shit over and burn the place down.
Keep
But it
Mopar
was a good
locked
time.
up in the back room until we're ready for him.
That's exactly. I was chained up next to the Rancor, and yeah, it was a good time though.
Nice.
It was a good time.
Oh, that's awesome.
Lot of beer drinking, a lot of yelling at each other. It was cool because that was the first time I met Steve Kirk from the Commonwealth. So it was cool just to sit down and me and him just had like a half-hour discussion about why we're the best thing ever created, Commonwealth.
Yes.
Cheers! Yes, it was a good time.
Nice.
But yeah, that's what happened yesterday.
Glad to hear it.
And then the heat fucking Tatooine came in, and it's like Mario
Dude.
3 where the sun tries to kill us.
Was it hot
Today
there
I got
too?
in my car. Oh yeah, I went to play basketball knowing it was hot out, and my
That's
car
a
said
mistake.
103.
Yeah, it was rough. I worked up. I was dripping. This is disgusting, but I was dripping sweat just walking to the restaurant for brunch and back. It was terrible. Jackson almost died on the walk there.
Dude, I took the trash out today and I was sweating already. It was fucking nuts.
Terrible.
So, yeah, it was unbearable. But I had to get out. I don't like being cooped
You know what?
up.
I want to see something.
What?
The Star Wars
yeah,
app.
Starbarbecue Podcast is on with us live on
Get
Instagram.
the fuck out of here, dudes.
Yes, seriously.
I don't know if they can hear me. I wanted to see what it said.
Carolina Prepper, says twin sons here in Charlotte, North Carolina for the past 4 weeks. Yeah, it's been up and down. We're the weather squad pod. We're probably more accurate than the people that do the weather.
Maybe.
You know, it's true.
You know what I'm talking about.
You know what 100 degrees means? Invasion.
Only explanation for anything ever. Invasion.
Invasion. Yeah. So what do you want to do? You want to jump in this beer review? DJ
Obviously.
Mopar, what's up? You want to?
Are you asking me if I want to drink beer? The answer is yes.
Okay.
Also, shout out to, we got Travis Dunn and we got Kigo in the chat, in the release in the YouTube chat. I know we're on 14 platforms tonight, so
I think DJ, Keegers over here.
I'm going to have
Keegan.
trouble going back and forth.
Hello there.
Hello
So-
there.
I have a dogfish head that I believe Commander has had, and I yelled at it.
Yelled
because
at
of
the beer?
The description. Yes, I did. So I'll show you. It's a dogfish head. Show it on Instagram. And it's the Sea Quench Ale. And it was a session sour.
Oh, yeah. I have it.
The reason I say I think you've had it is because I asked right here, what is a black lime? Because that's one of the ingredients on it. It says black limes. I was like, I've never even heard of a black lime.
I feel like I totally missed that then when I was reviewing it on the show. Which is
Yeah, so if you guys are live with us on Instagram, this is I got the Dogfish Head Sequence.
Sequench. It's going to quench your
Sequence
thirst.
Session Sour. So this is going to fuck around here. But you can see it's got a list of ingredients. I'll read it. Lime juice, lime peel, black limes, and sea salt. Yeah, the black limes kind of threw me for a loop. I've never... It looks like a cartoon thing. Like, why? What's a black lime?
Never heard of that.
So
Never seen that.
Well, yes, you have, because you have heard of it and you have tasted it. So that's what I'm getting into. What do you got?
I feel like I never even talked about the fact that there was black limes there, though. That's so weird.
Guys! Uh-oh.
You okay?
Mopar's about to flip shit.
What's happening? What, somebody pop in and say, Lewis Jedi's fucking terrible?
LeBron James went to the goddamn Lakers.
Oh, is that announcement happening today?
It was free agency started this morning.
Oh, well, shit.
LeBron James is going to the Lakers. That's big news for us. Well, for me, because we're originally from Cleveland. Woo! That's
Are we?
not good. It's crazy. Hey, you want to rejoin there?
So what are your thoughts about it? Yeah, sorry, guys. If you're listening and watching this, the Instagram thing was messing up on me, so I had to back out and jump back in.
Well, I'm going to pour this beer out.
Pour the beer out. I'm going
Cody's
to talk
gonna-
about mine in a second. Yeah. There we go. Send request. Land grant stuff I have today. It's been about a month since I've had land grant. I know I usually cheat because they're right next door. So if I'm out of beer, I just go there instead. But this is a weird collab that they did with Jenny's, popular ice cream shop here in Columbus. If you're in Columbus, I'm sure you've heard and know of Jenny's. So it's called the Elixir. It's a hibiscus pale ale. So they did this beer collab, and they had, I think it was like 3 weeks ago, they did a big event at the brewery outside with Jenny's, and they had ice cream trucks and food trucks and everything. So I didn't make it to the event, so I haven't tried this yet. So this is, for the first time in a few weeks, a beer that I've never had. So, nice. And earlier, as I was streaming, which we'll talk about Fallout and stuff, I was having the Franklinton Pub Ale, which they've had on draft for a while, but they hadn't canned it since it came out. So I was sipping on this earlier, which is good. Are you ready, Mobar?
Sorry, my mind is blown right now. Interesting.
I think I'm going to be in the same boat as you. You have a sour, and this is a hibiscus pale ale, so I think it's supposed to taste like ice cream or some shit.
Oh, I did the smell test.
That's what I'm doing right now.
It's not good. Not good.
Yeah, this will be interesting.
All right. Cheers it.
Cheers it.
Beers. Yeah. Guys, I just don't like sours. This is actually a decent tasting sour, but I just don't like sours.
Yeah, I remember that one being okay, but the platform that I had last week or 2 weeks ago was amazing.
The good thing about this is it's not overly vinegary sour. So it is quite a bit more drinkable. We got to come up with more descriptions.
Yeah, we
drinkable. It's got a little piney.
We need to start taking classes. So this is supposed to combine or like mimic their Jenny's strawberry buttermilk ice cream.
Okay.
And it's supposed to complement the ice cream and be a perfect beer for a hot summer. I don't know. I'm at a loss for words. I've never had any reaction to Land Grant beer other than, oh, fuck, this is amazing. This is like the first Land Grant beer that just like...
Testing the waters.
I'm having it.
Yeah, that's kind of where I'm at with this session. It's the black limes. Throw me for a loop. So the sea salt, it might be the other kind of thing that's actually probably calming this down. Mm-hmm. I feel like any type of sea salt is going to take away from like a sour or bitterness.
Yeah.
But Sea Quench Sour Ale. Yeah, Session Ale, I'm sorry. Yeah, this is doing it, but not drinkable, but I don't like sours.
Yeah.
It's just like, oh yeah, this is a decent tasting Pepsi, but I don't like pop. Or soda. I'm sorry for those people.
Hell just went on.
Starbecue says I do get heartburn from the Sea Quench.
Well, they're drunk, so
my innards are melting.
Innards. Yeah, this is just. It's not sour. It's just hibiscus infused pale ale, and it's not like I'm drinking strawberry juice or anything like some of those infused beers that are way too strong. You can't even fucking handle it. It's just I don't know. It's just not a flavor that I really like.
Hibiscus.
So, I mean, it's balanced well. All the beer is like, it's made well. It's just not my thing. I don't want to shit on this because this is balanced quite well. There's not one flavor that's overpowering this. So it's balanced. It's decently drinkable. I might actually try to force this up to something like a 2. Because force it down the gullet.
Well, I just don't want my bias of not liking sours because this is a decent sour. That's what I'm going to do for it. Because I do like Dogfish Head. They're always solid. This is probably my favorite session that I've had. I think you gave this a 1. Actually,
I might have.
Wasn't there like 3-4 weeks straight that was all 4s? Might have been a part of that.
All 4s. Yeah. I don't think it was though. No, this was back before I even had the office. This was back in like January.
Interesting. Yeah. So I'm going to give this a solid 2. Even though I said I'm going to force it into a 2. With everything said, I don't like sours, but this doesn't have an overly powering sour taste, which makes it more drinkable, and it's blended very well. So with all things said and done, Invasion. That's what they're coming down to.
Episode 1 quotes are the best. I don't care.
Solid 2 for a sour. That's You should be happy, Dogfish Head. With Mopar giving you a goddamn 2 with a sour, you should be fucking
You don't
happy.
even understand.
Pat yourself on your ass. Give yourself a raise. And
You don't understand the glory of the Mopar rating. You never will. I don't know, man. I'm thinking 1. I don't know. I feel like it's an interesting thing. It's a collab with a ice cream shop. It's like strawberry, hibiscus. It's just kind of like a one-time thing, like cool.
strawberry hibiscus. I'm not gonna lie, that does not sound good at all.
It's not.
Sorry. Sorry.
Not that they actually watch our podcast, so if I talk shit about them, it doesn't matter because they don't pay attention. Justin, ass.
Justin, comma ass, or Justin? Like his ass is his middle name?
Well, you heard what I said. I'm gonna go 1. I'm gonna go 1.
Awesome.
If you're in the mood for like a random flavor that you've never anticipated a beer having before, it's worth trying. Maybe go to Land Grant and get a pint instead of buying a whole 6-pack. It's worth trying. I mean, it's definitely interesting. And if you like some fruity stuff, this might be your thing. Like I know Mad Tree has a whole series.
Wow, I've completely forgot about Mad Tree.
That they're not sours, but they're infused, and it's kind of along those lines. So it's worth trying, but yeah, it's really not my thing, and it just is a weird random flavor to have in the pale ale. So it's just, I don't know, it's just a 1.
Good.
I'm still gonna sit here and drink 2 of them. So
Sequench Ale Session Sour, 2 out of 3 stars, official.
Sequench.
I'm actually much happier with it than I ever expected, and that's why it went from a 1 to a 2. So
That's good. That's how I felt about that platform last week or 2 weeks ago, whatever it was.
oh yeah.
That's what I said.
All right. Last week
What happened?
I was able to capture a great viewing of Solo once again.
Yes.
So I was able to see it twice.
Good
With all
timing. I
things
also
said
saw
and
it
done.
once again.
Last week?
Not last week, 2 weeks ago, but I don't know if did we talk about how after I saw it again? I don't think
I
we
don't
mentioned
think
it in
so.
a few weeks. So
Yeah, so I would like to. I wrote some notes here. Oh, I think it's going to cancel my live, but I have it on the notes on my phone. Does it still show us live on Instagram?
I'm live. You're a loading screen.
Hell yeah.
Just gonna have to deal with it.
Let me find out. I got a new phone too, so
Everything's on the fritz.
everything's perfect.
It's not how that works.
All right, so I okay. Just as a setting, I was in West Virginia again. Sorry, anybody who lives in West Virginia. I am not. It's a beautiful place. It really is. The landscape is fucking awesome. There's more trees in West Virginia than anywhere. If you flattened West Virginia, it'd be bigger than Texas because there's so many fucking hills. Every hill you go over, you're in a valley of another larger hill, and you just get lost. So it's a very, very pretty, very beautiful area, but at the same time, I can't handle it.
Yeah, the setting's great. Lots of rivers and shit, cutting through mountains, and yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah, there's just not a lot beyond that, and maybe it's because I'm not from there, but I've been all over fucking West Virginia for the past month, so there's not a lot of places left unturned by the Mopar machine.
It's just bush light and no Wi-Fi.
What the fuck am I talking about?
The Mopar machine.
All right.
All right, you had notes about Solo.
I do have some notes on Solo.
Were you sitting there taking notes in the movie theater? Tell me you were.
I was. You want to know why? Because
I've done
I was
that
the
before.
only motherfucker there.
Nice.
I saw it by myself. Yes.
Yeah, and there's a lot of times there's something I think about in the movie, and then by the time it's over, I'm like, fuck. There's like 4 things I forgot about that I knew I wanted to talk about.
Yeah, and since I had already seen it once, I wasn't like sitting there I was trying to enjoy it, but I was trying to pick it apart rather than obviously the first time you run through is just like I'm trying to understand the story.
Yeah, yeah.
So I was able to focus on, did they say Zelbar or
They did. You didn't believe me, fuck.
I still don't. I saw it again and listened for it. There was twice where during the Kessel mining scene, they say like something that starts with a Z, but it's one syllable. They're like, Zah, come on. I'm like, that was clearly not Zalbar.
Nope.
Zah.
Incorrection. Your perfect ears have missed the glory of the Easter egg.
These people. So,
Dude, I'm triggered
Yeah,
by
so
that.
I saw
That's
it by
racist. Don't say
myself.
that.
I was able to write these things down. I do have, let's just call it 8 little notes here, so I'm excited to get in. So
Start with number 8.
you know how in the original trilogy, especially, each movie kind of had a color scheme.
Yeah.
Where, I guess episode 4 might be like a sand. I guess maybe Tatooine color.
Maybe like a tone.
I'm kind of thinking like black, because they spent a lot of time in the Death Star, and even the Falcon's kind of dark. I don't know, but episode 5 was clearly white because of
Very
the snow,
darky.
and
Very whitey.
episode 6,
Very lighty.
episode 6 was clearly green. So I was kind of looking for a color in this, but it popped out so many times. Blue was clearly the color of Solo. Every time they were in the Falcon, they had blue, it was almost like a blue filter on their face. The entire Corellia, everything was blue.
Yep.
So I thought that was super interesting that I watched the movie and really didn't get that the first time. But when I sat there and looked for it, it was right in my face. Clearly everything's blue.
Yeah,
So-
a lot of people are praising the cinematography, but some theaters aren't showing it the right way. Or their projectors
why do you
are
say that?
old. Maybe their projectors aren't top notch, they're old or something, or it's not optimized. And people have complaining about the film is too dark, and that's because of the theater, not because of the film itself. Because the movie, like you just mentioned about the whole color scheme and everything, it's getting praised for the photography and everything, but some theaters just don't know what the hell they're doing.
Yeah.
So I'm glad you didn't notice that.
Yeah, the blue color scheme was cool.
Yeah.
Because that's something that, I was thinking out of the other 3 movies that they've made under Disney, I haven't noticed a color scheme.
Say Rogue One was gray. I don't know.
Maybe The Last Jedi was red.
Last Jedi was definitely red. Yeah.
Maybe.
See, I feel like Solo's was yellow. I feel like they usually match the marketing material to that. And all the Solo stuff was yellow and red. Mainly yellow. Last Jedi was definitely red. Rogue One was black and green.
No, Travis Dunn up here is lying over here. He said they must be bad theaters because Solo wasn't dark to me. Solo was dark.
That's exactly what I said.
Solo was dark.
Some of it was, but if it looked like it was too dark to make out what was happening on screen, it's because the theater had a bad screen or a bad projector or something.
See, this is something else that I think that's crazy. My mind's crazy.
Yes, it is.
I didn't write down, but so after looking at these and rehashing, my mind remembered something that I was supposed to write down. So I better get it out now. So I was so surprised after watching it again to realize Han Solo was a stormtrooper for 3 fucking years.
Yeah.
Like
It's a 3-year
it
gap.
jumps through that so quickly, but it says 3 years later, and
Yep.
you're like, what? So he spent time.
Yeah.
Mopar wasn't making shit up.
He got trained.
Yeah, he was fully trained, but
He got some XP.
in this scheme of the entire movie, it was 10 minutes, and nothing was focused on the actual stormtroopers.
Right.
It was a focus on what's his face's character? Beckett. Sorry, I just now remembered Kira, and I just remembered Dryden, but I can't remember fucking Beckett. So yeah, I thought that was huge. 3 years. Han has seen a fuck ton.
Yeah, and
War.
being a new trooper,
that's-
they are throwing him on the shittiest jobs ever.
Right. But that's something that I don't think I would have assumed under Harrison Ford's Solo. I would have never expected him to be a soldier in a military for 3 years. He just doesn't have that mindset. Or, I don't know. What do you think? I just never expected. I would have said you would have been lying if someone said, oh, yeah.
Well, he's a different person by then, I guess, is the justification for that. But I love that he was actually in the Army. And I wonder how much flight training he got too. Because when he went to sign up, he said he wanted to be a pilot in the first place. And then it flash forwards 3 years and you see him in the fucking mud as a mud trooper. So, but no, it's great.
But they say he got kicked out too, though, as a pilot.
Oh, he does say that, yeah. So I wonder if he went there first and they were like, get the fuck out of here. Get on Minbong.
Oh, here we go. Drangus up here. Apparently, the deleted scene will show him in the flight academy. That'd be cool.
Nice.
I understand why they took that out, but that would be cool.
Mhm.
Cool addition.
Mhm.
All right. Continuing rambling through this shit.
Continuance.
All right. So there was two things that I saw of why the Falcon meant so much
To Han.
to Han and to Lando.
To Londo. Yeah.
So Han, it's small, but he does say it. He gets on the ship's a Corellian ship,
Yeah.
and his dad built them.
Right. Yeah.
So it's almost like, oh yeah, my dad worked for Ford all these years, but he even says my dad probably built this ship.
Right.
Like I don't even like my dad, but that's all I have left is like in remembrance of my family is
Right. He built the
the
ship for
ship
me.
that's all I'm on right now.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's cool to make that like deeper connection that this is more than just a ship to him. This is like his history. This is
Yeah.
where he comes from. This is like a momentum.
Yep.
So,
Memento.
memento is what I was looking for. Yes. And then obviously on Lando's side, he never wants to give up the ship because the droid he was banging is uploaded into the Falcon.
Yep.
So like when we see him in 5 and he asks, "How is my ship?" That makes it mean so much fucking more.
Yeah, it's like it was his second-hand droid for a long time. Yeah.
Exactly. It's like Luke losing R2, but having R2 uploaded into a starship.
Right.
Obviously, Luke would want that fucking starship.
Right. Yeah. No,
R2!
I love that, and it makes so much sense about how like 3PO is arguing with the ship, because when he says that stuff in Episode 5, you're like, wait, this ship has a personality? What are you talking about? And now it makes so much more
dialect.
sense. Yeah. Yeah. Most
Yeah,
peculiar
C-3PO.
dialect. Yeah. The droid that he was banging. Yeah, that's fucking. All right. Next point.
Wow. I don't know if there was actual penetration. I didn't see that port on her.
It works.
So what I got? Okay, I'm jumping all over my list here. Solo's father built the Falcon. Means
It's okay.
a lot to him. Blue color scheme. Next, Han's kiss with Kira was interrupted again. Every
Yeah.
time Han kisses someone, it's always interrupted. I laugh my ass off. I knew it was coming, and I was just like, "Oh, this is gonna be fucking hilarious." I
Well,
forgot
they had plenty of fucking makeout scenes, so he gets interrupted once, no big deal.
but it gets interrupted on the Falcon again,
And
I
in
guess.
fucking Lando's cloak closet. How ridiculous
Yeah.
is that?
trying to bang on the cloaks.
Or his cape closet. Sorry. Say one
Chewie-
more time.
So, let's see here. When they land on Kessel to steal what's the fucking fuel?
Coaxium.
Coaxium. Is that made up for just this movie?
Good question. Let me turn to Google.
Because I feel like I've never heard that before.
Let's see if I can look this up before Shinobi says it.
Uh-oh, here we go. Time's
And I have like a
Time.
5 to 10 second lead time because there's a delay in the stream. As always. Oh, found it.
powerful, Google.
Coaxium is a hyperfuel, a rare form of hypermatter, and type of expensive starship fuel mined on Kessel. And if you notice, actually, at the very beginning, they do say in the little crawl that isn't a crawl.
I love that, by the way.
I actually
absolutely
hate
love
it.
it again.
I hate it.
I loved it.
It says when it mentions like the gangs are fighting over hyperfuel at the very beginning. So it must be so important at this like period of time for some reason.
It's interesting that all crystals are like a form of energy in the Star Wars universe, because we got kyber crystals now.
Mhm.
Lightsaber crystals, I feel like, can be a lot of different things. Coaxium's a thing now. Like, yeah, it's interesting that they would do that.
He just developed a lisp when he said lightsaber.
Lightsaber
Lightsaber things are crystal. They're their thing now.
crystals. There's a lot of crystals.
First
So,
first
continuing.
appearance, and the reason I looked it up, I totally fucking skipped over that. The first appearance was in Star Wars Commander, which is one of those mobile games.
Oh, so that means nothing.
So like Wikipedia tells you exactly where it shows up and what the first one was. Everything is Solo, Star Wars Story, Star Wars Story, Star Wars Story. First appearance was in Commander, that mobile game, and then it was also in the Battlefront 2 DLC. So somewhere in that DLC mission when Aiden's 70 or whatever.
Hearts of Kaiba.
What a terrible fucking game.
Crystals.
I don't want to get sidetracked. Continue.
Continuing on, so back to the Kessel, when the plan was to put Han and Chewie back in the handcuffs, and that was a big call out to the Death Star. We'll just put Chewie in handcuffs. He's a prisoner. Look at him, big jackass.
Yeah.
I thought it was funny. It was a small little tidbit. This is the fan. What am I trying to say?
Fan service?
Fan service that I like.
That doesn't
I don't
interrupt
need it to
or
be
like
shoved down
conflict
my
with.
throat.
Yeah, and it doesn't interrupt or mess with like the actual story. If that wasn't in there, it wouldn't affect anything. But it's cool that it is.
Yeah. So it was cool. It was a cool fan service kind of throwback, but it was just a little tidbit.
Yeah.
It was an entire mission with all these fucking creatures that we've all seen before. No, it was just a small little thing. I thought it was nice.
I agree.
I mentioned this on the Patreon call. During the entire movie, I was laughing because all of the Star Wars technology, especially in that age, is
retro.
so much like Fallout.
Yeah.
All the Fallout technology where it's like futuristic, but also old. Like all the screens like flicker and you could barely, they buzz but also they're running this fucking machine, Starfighter shit. Like,
yeah,
I love it. It's so cool.
It's cool. They keep to that style of the original.
Yeah. And we see that in Rogue One as well.
Right.
A little bit, I guess.
I think maybe it was the cinematographer guy was talking about that while they were still shooting it and how it's like so rooted in that 70s feel, even though it's supposed to be like modern, crazy, advanced scientific shit. It looks and has that feel like it's retro or something.
Yeah. Retro futuristic. That's kind of the boom.
I like it.
Continuing. The comedy of the Droid Rebellion. There was something about that was like innocent. It was refreshing. It made sense. The character was cool.
Yeah.
But it was funny because it wasn't the Last Jedi humor forced down our throats. I'll wait. Can you hear me? Can I hear you? Can you listen? Well, shut the fuck up.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like
And
L3
stop.
is over there just talking shit. And if you listen to it, it's funny. And if you don't listen to it, then you don't miss anything.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then, the little droid rebellion she puts on is fucking hilarious.
Yeah.
One of the droids was like a server droid. He just had a tray that was just banging control panels. I was like, dude, this is fucking funny.
Yeah,
Like, I don't
it's
care
awesome.
who you are. It is. So I thought it was refreshing to hear that it wasn't like a spoken joke. It was like a funny scene rather than, I'm having fun. My line is this now. Like, okay. Who wrote this?
You, apparently.
Oh. So
What
this
else?
one I don't even understand, so I'm not going to say it.
The thing that you wrote down yourself, you don't understand. What is it?
was
maybe
so
I
engulfed
can
in the
interpret.
movie.
I am fluent in 5 million forms of drunk, asshole.
Not Mo Parky. Hey.
Mo Parky. That's your language. We need to make up a whole Star Wars planet, like where the Mopar come from.
Mo Parky.
I spelled it with like a QUI at the end.
Mo Parky. Because I wrote down Solo's extraction, and I think I was gonna make a point, and then it like fixed itself in a later scene. So I wrote that down kind of as a reminder
His extraction of what?
of the
Coaxium?
on
Oh, when he's
Kessel.
moving
Yeah.
that cart? Yeah.
Oh, I think it was funny because in Battlefront 2, it takes an entire team to push that thing.
Yeah.
And he's like pushing it by himself halfway through the mine. I'm like, dude.
And he's terrible
you know how
at it.
heavy
Yeah.
that is?
He needs Chewbacca to come help him out. Yeah.
The other thing I was going to try to say was wrong. When he first gets there and he picks up the first tube and puts it on, I think they say, good, now only 11 more. And then a later scene, I see him pushing it. And I swear there was like 6 on there. But I later was counting it, and I was like, okay, there is clearly
Of
12
course.
total.
Only people like us would sit there and count however many tubes are on that cart.
Which
See,
doesn't
make sure
matter.
Ron Howard kept up with continuity. Yeah.
I guess last but not least, this was actually one of the most interesting because I think this is open to interpretation. So Kira's killing of Dryden, she mentions something of a sort that she learns. Let's just call it like a martial art.
Terrace Kasi.
She learned. Yeah. What is that?
I think.
Is it?
Well, Here we go. Look it up.
Because I think while I was in the film or in the movie, she said it really quick, and I was like, I'm not sure what she said, so I was trying to Google it, and I couldn't find anything.
Google versus Shinobi. Well, we talked about it maybe on last week's Patreon call or the week before. It first showed up in that terrible like Mortal Kombat Star Wars game. It was called Masters of Terras Kasi. But if you look it up on Wikipedia, it's actually a form of martial arts. It's a hand-to-hand combat. And I believe it was developed to be able to like disarm people that had a weapon that you didn't have a weapon.
Okay.
But if I'm
saying same fighting form that Darth Maul uses, which is very interesting because he's always armed.
Well, I guess on the Wikipedia it just says it's a form of hand-to-hand combat, and that's it. Now, if I click on the Legends tab, so it was developed for non-Jedi to fight against Jedi.
Holy shit, that's sweet. Especially now that Travis Dunn has mentioned that Darth Maul uses it. That's fucking badass.
That's so fucking awesome.
The reason why I was interested in her abilities is obviously with Maul saying basically we're going to be working together a lot more. I feel like she's been prepped to take over Dryden's role.
Yeah, kind of getting groomed, yeah.
Yeah, groomed. So I thought that might be so when they're on Kessel and she gets locked in that room with L3 and then you just hear this fucking rumble and L3 goes, whoa. I was like, dude, Kira's a fucking badass.
Dude, she is awesome.
Walks in there by herself and just takes a motherfucker out that's armed.
Yeah, she's
so I was just interested to see what her background was and what the actual martial art was.
Yeah.
So that adds so much.
Yeah.
Akira's I love that her background, or not background, but her history.
Yeah.
Very clouded, very secretive. She's done things you should never even think about.
Right.
And Han's just the fucking happy-go-lucky, I've seen it all too. Like, you don't know shit, dude. I love that he's like a blind, like...
Half blind.
He's kind of half blind. I've been there and done that. You have no clue what you're talking about, Han.
But also, he's very competent.
The entire movie, Kira was just staring at him like you get lucky and you're good at what you do, but you really have no fucking clue.
Yeah, yeah. So on the Kira subject, what do you think about her ambitions to defeat Dryden and survive? Was that based more on her wanting to climb up the ranks, or more based on her actually caring about Han?
I don't think it's anything about Han.
No?
I think it...
You don't think there can't be a mix?
See, I think...
because if she didn't care about Han, she would just probably killed him, right?
No, because Dryden needed him.
No, I mean, by the end there, wouldn't she have just killed all of them?
I think that's the thing.
I think she still cares about him.
I don't think she needed to kill Han.
I think she still cares about him, but she has bigger ambitions, and in this point in her life, she can't just quit Crimson Dawn and go run off and be happy on Naboo or Gleon Selm or whatever the fuck. She has to. She's ambitious and wants to keep rising through the ranks, but she still cares about Han Solo.
But so it's kind of just victim of circumstance, because Dryden was about to kill Han, and then she jumps in.
Right.
Did she jump in to save Han, or was that the actual best advantage to jump in when he's not
both? I think.
Oh, holy shit! How?
Tell me about it.
Kira actually kills Dryden.
So sweet.
So he's got those single, double. It's almost like single-hand double blades.
Double-bladed daggers. Yeah.
Double-bladed daggers, and he's going to stab her and cuts through her sword, and then she twists. His dagger gets stuck in the sword, and then she uses his dagger to stab him. I was like, dude,
fucking sweet.
That was fucking sweet.
I don't know if he cut the sword in half. I thought the sword had a notch.
No, he
on purpose.
He cut into it because it was melting, and then it gets kind of stuck, and she twists and uses the dagger that he. Oh my god! It was it became an axe, and that's how she killed him.
Yeah, that was badass. Yeah. I'm curious. I didn't catch that 100% closely, I could tell that it was split, and for a second I just thought that it was like a notched sword or something for whatever reason. For that purpose, maybe like to like grab an enemy's weapon and like lock it away from them. But I'll have to watch closely for that next time. That's awesome.
Yeah, next time you watch it,
She was crushing,
anybody.
dude. Crushing it.
Yeah,
So
she
sweet.
was. She's a badass.
Real quick Easter egg. Did you notice when they get off of the Falcon on Kessel and they're doing the ruse where like she owns them as slaves? She says that she works for the Federation of Trade Routes and something.
No,
It's like the new version of the fucking Trade Federation.
Trade
I have to
Federation.
assume, yeah. Like the Federation for Trade Routes and Commerce or some shit like that. Trade Federation. Still around. We're right back where we started in 99.
Invasion.
Not
That
77.
all leads back.
Not 77, 99 is where it all started.
77.
Don't listen to those fucking haters telling you about the 70s. Not worth it. So, any change in thoughts or feelings or ratings or reactions after seeing it a second time? It's better the second time, don't you think?
I think every Star Wars film is.
That's true.
I think they did their due diligence in adding small stuff, just like Rogue One. If you really pay attention, there's a lot of stuff in Rogue One and Episode 7. Now, Episode 8 is a transition film. It's a middle film. I don't expect them to like plant a lot of small things. But as these standalones, it's worth you viewing several times and paying attention to different things.
Well, it's also because 8 is as far as the timeline goes, is the newest one. Like, Rogue One is right before 4. It's immersed in that timeline, so there's a bunch of shit that you can already reference. 8 is kind of carving its own path forward because it's so far ahead. But yes,
Right.
I know what you mean.
No, I truly enjoyed it.
Good.
I don't know if it would move up or down on my scale. It won't move down, but I don't know if it moves up.
Last time I ranked him, I put it pretty high, actually. You put it like 4th or 5th.
Yeah, I think mine was halfway. I like Rogue One better as a standalone.
I actually think
just
I
like-
like Solo better as a standalone.
See, I like we're getting back to what we talked about last episode.
Let's repeat ourselves.
I like the big galaxy-wide struggle, and this is kind of what's happening in it. I'm not a huge fan of the Marvel universe. This entire film is about Solo. While I enjoyed it,
Yeah.
but it's a little different feel. But I have nothing bad to say about it. It just there's other ones that I like better.
For sure. I feel it, man. I respect your opinion.
That's great to hear. Man, I posted something on Instagram earlier today
People are
just
pissed.
to weed out all the haters. So
it was
it's
like a reasonable fucking post, though. It wasn't like you were like, fuck haters, get out of here.
I know, but it's the true trash people that would comment on something like that.
That's true, because it's
No,
so like moderate and well balanced.
Yes. So what I posted, it's the goosebump thing. Yeah. So Commander's got it up there. It's the goosebump thing. It says it has a girl whispering into a guy's ear, and then he's getting goosebumps. So what she says is, I don't absolutely love this new Star Wars films, but I am happy there is new enjoyable content because I'm a big Star Wars fan. So reasonable. And there's still people in there that just say, hell no. I liked Force Awakens, but The Last Jedi was a step too far. Like, you are trash, dude.
A step too far from what? What are you talking about?
Just people don't get it. People don't get it.
Oh, man. It's so silly.
I don't get it. I care.
I understand. And the amount of sarcasm that goes over people's heads just has me enthused on a daily basis.
Yeah.
But good
Enthused.
post.
And rafted.
That's not a
Fallout
word.
4. What's going on?
That's not a word.
So final thoughts. Solo, we're all done. It's still in the middle of my pack. Great movie. Go see it again. I can't wait till it comes out on DVD or whatever you want to call it. Digital or whatever.
Blu-ray.
Blunt Ray. Mary Sue Ray.
Red Ray. Solo's great. It moved up in my rankings at the second viewing. I think it will continue to get better. I'm very happy that we finally have the first Star Wars like feature film that isn't galaxy-wide Jedi, Sith, Skywalker, everything. It has some touches of that, but it's so focused on like the underground and the criminal gangs and Solo himself. I thought it was perfectly balanced. The
one thing I didn't get into, just as a quick thing, is the soundtrack. I didn't absolutely love it, but there was nothing in there that I was like, what the fuck are they playing? So I think it meshed well, but I do think in the grand scheme of Star Wars, it was maybe lacking a little because it didn't jump out to me. But that's crazy to say because it doesn't live up to the best thing ever. So
yeah, for me, soundtracks are always like, it should never, like I almost want to say that for a soundtrack, you shouldn't notice it. Like it should be so perfectly synced with the movie that it puts you in the moment and you're not even noticing what the music is because it just has you like put right there in place with the movie. So it's hard to judge that. Like sometimes I'm not sitting there like thinking like, oh my God, this score is so good right now. It's like on John Williams level. So it's not bad by any means. But Williams is just on another level. Maybe
it's just because there wasn't like a grand scale battle or a grand scale struggle. It was all kind of interpersonal and one-on-one or maybe a handful of people.
Right.
So there wasn't any need for a crazy epic like song or whatever score you want to call it.
But I was getting chills like during the Kessel Run when some of those notes of like Han going through the asteroid field and Empire Strike Back came back. Like little quotes like that, or like right when they get into the storm and the Star Destroyer shows up, it throws in that quote from A New Hope. I'm not going to sing it because I would butcher it. But there's some throwbacks right there that like put you right in the sync. That's not it at all. Right in the right in the sync. What the fuck does that mean? Right in sync with what's happening.
So I do have an issue.
What's the issue?
Small little tidbit that I watched it twice and I was like, I still have no fucking clue what you're doing.
What?
Solo, during the Kessel Run, they run into that Star Destroyer, blockade. They send out the TIE fighters.
Yeah.
Shit, we gotta run. Let's run through the goddamn mist. Craziness. All fun and games. And then he's got that one he can't shake. The blaster or whatever, the gun position's been, it's broke again. Always broke.
Yeah, always gets locked.
Out of order, fuck. So the little maneuver that he says, my friend did this maneuver once before he crashed and wrecked it and he never raced again.
Yeah.
So let me walk you through his fucking crazy maneuver. He says, Chewie, put down the landing gear. Chewie does. So what does he do? He smacks the ground, breaks the landing gear, and turns the ship around. And
I did notice that.
He literally does nothing. The TIE fighter should literally just be like following him slowly behind. He like turns the ship around, looks at the TIE fighter, doesn't do anything, and then like flies off.
I don't remember. Did it?
He didn't shoot. He didn't do anything because what ended up happening was the TIE fighter ran into something. And I was like, why? What are you doing?
Yeah, I don't know. I'd have to see it again in context.
I watched.
Is it just one of those things where like you're like chasing each other and like one person just like slams on the brakes and the other one like goes way far forward? Maybe, I don't know.
Oh, okay. So
Keegan here is smarter than us and says
it was to bring up dust so the TIE fighter couldn't see. Maybe
terrible.
Maybe you're right. I don't know. I just didn't see it. It didn't make sense to me.
I would agree with that.
I was looking for it the second time because I noticed it the first time and I was like, what the fuck? So it's my second viewing. I was like, all right, I'm going to watch this in detail because the first time it didn't make any sense.
Right.
I still didn't get it.
I think it's important to bring up the fact that it's hard to find something to dislike about this movie. Whereas with every other Star Wars movie, I know with the first viewing, there's these 3 or 4 things that I have an issue with. Solo, I watched it. I've seen it twice now, and it's like, man, what did I like? I feel like I shouldn't actively look for something to dislike. Like if it doesn't pop in my head, that's a good thing.
Well, you want to do a shit round
On Solo?
Yeah,
Not really,
I was gonna say because
I'm a Star Wars fan.
I can.
Let's do you know what we should do? I've been saying this for a while. I just don't have video editing chops. But I would like to make a Red Letter Media style like review just about the originals. and like break it down and shit on it like they did for the prequels, but do it for the originals, because you definitely could. It would just take some skill, which I don't have. Keegan's dropping
Matt
knowledge
Keegan's
about this
saying there
tie.
was a quick shot from the TIE fighter cockpit getting covered. Okay. He said he missed it the first viewing.
The fuck out of here. It's a different Australian special cut. We didn't see that.
Yeah. What kind of smoke screen fucking bullshit?
Smoke screen Moparky.
Moparky. All right. I'll take you at your word, which isn't very good. So.
Can't be trusted.
I mean.
I'm happy with it. Great movie.
I agree.
3 out of 3.
If we want to shit on it, I could probably quickly bring up 3 things.
I probably could, but I don't want to.
Because there was a space octopus.
Mopar.
It had 1,000 limbs, and it was bigger than the galaxy. And like, okay.
Mopar. Disney's paying us to like the movies, not to shit on them.
Well, they will shut this to.
Communications disruption can mean only one thing.
Disney.
We should start doing that, by the way. And I shouldn't say this live on air, but I'm going to, because I'll forget. Because now all you guys are going to know about it. But we should just like... No, I'm not going to say it. Never mind. Just look out for it. Just look out for it. I want it to be a surprise, but I also don't want to forget. So
we should make like a big surprise thing, but leave like a heavy suspense.
What do you mean? A big surprise thing? What do you mean?
Nah, never mind. Left you in suspense, Commander.
I'm not
triggered happy. So what's happening in Fallout? Let's walk through it.
I just started today. I sound like you when you're doing books. I just got it. I literally turned it on and then I turned it off. That's all I know. I started Fallout 4 today. Let's talk about why. First of all, it's a great game and I've been wanting to play it, but I've been getting more pissed at Battlefront, and I actually uninstalled it because I want to take a break from it. So I uninstalled it because every time I got online to stream, I just ended up playing Battlefront instead so we could do multiplayer. So I knew that if I would always just keep going back to that instead of starting the single player game, because I haven't played a single player in a while. But no, I started up Fallout 4. Pretty cool stuff. It was nice to like create a character from scratch again. I haven't done that in a while. Pick my stats.
There's a lot of customization in that game.
Yeah,
it's fun.
Yeah, I didn't go too balls deep with the with like the face customization, but it was cool that you could just like pick an area of your face and move it around like Mario instead of having to like adjust like levers back and forth. Yeah. So it was interesting. Graphics are good. The interface is good. Conversation, everything. I love that they have the choose your like reaction kind of thing like Mass Effect does instead of having like literal lines of dialogue.
Yeah, the entire line of what you're going to say.
Yeah, stuff like that.
It'll just say agree, and then your character will say an entire sentence of you agreeing with the, yeah.
Yeah, and they speak it all out, which is really cool, unlike Fallout 3. Because that's the only other one I've played is Fallout 3. So, no, good impressions all around so far. I got through like the beginning part, down in the vault, escaped the vault, and then saw the first reaction, not the first reaction, first, what's the fucking word I'm looking for? First run-in with the Minutemen. Inside of that church, killed the raiders, got in the power armor, got the minigun, fucked people up, killed the Deathclaw, and then I saved it. And that's as far as I am so far.
So yeah, you basically just got through the
tutorial thing,
tutorial, because that's what that's set up as. That game. So why I like that game? We talked about the technology being like old, ancient, but also futuristic. That's so cool.
Speaking
and
of,
it's ingrained in it so much that every little thing, your Pip-Boy, old but futuristic, and you can fucking fast travel. It's all cool.
Yeah.
Go.
I was gonna say, speaking of, I'm not huge into the Fallout lore other than Fallout 3. So I just learned why all that 50s stuff is so popular and still around after the Fallout. It's because it's like an alternate timeline. Once the US hit World War II, this is like an alternate dimension, kind of like what they did with Wolfenstein. Which is cool, which I had no idea of. So basically, as soon as World War II hits, they take all the power from the what do you call it? Nuclear? Is that it?
Nuclear.
Nuclear.
Take all the power from the nuclear.
I didn't know what the fucking word was. I'm trying to think of it. But all the power that atomic power. There we go. Boom. And they apply it to like technology, and they advance crazy, crazy fast, and they stick in that like 50s and 60s style, which was pretty interesting. Because in Fallout 3, you just kind of dropped in, and it's already after the Fallout. You don't have any like previous info of what happened to cause the war in the first place. So it was cool to see that in Fallout 4. Just starting off, I had no idea ahead of time. So it's cool. Now I know it's like an alternate timeline. Helps put me in the zone.
In the zone, ready to go, hard as a rock. That's how I play. That's the only way I play.
It's the only way. It's the only way to shuffle the cards.
Full on robot chub. I really enjoy those games. Part of the reason why is because there's every corner, every fucking corner, every hill, every bush you pass, there's an enemy, and they're all different. It'll be a ghoul attacking. It'll be a fucking deathclaw. It'll be a mutated animal. It'll be a bug. It'll be a raider. It'll be a mutant. It'll be an enemy you make during the game, based on your decisions.
Yeah.
It'll be a fucking sea creature. Like everything in the entire wasteland is trying to kill you, and I absolutely love it. The robots, half the fucking robots are out just on like murder mode, and they're running around just shooting shit, murder things. Murder, much more. And I really love, I love the variety of enemies, but I also love the variety of guns. It could be a plasma, it could be a laser, it could be a shotgun, it could be a fucking stick. I picked up, it said glowing stick, and it like plus 15% paralyzation or some shit. I fucking love it. I love
That's
it.
Never
it's
been
so
a
cool.
stat in a game. Plus 15 paralyzation. That's awesome, man. Oh, I love it.
But I do like the variety. And what you can do in that game, dude, it adds a whole town building aspect. I had to build power generators, the power lights, the power turrets in the city that I built.
I'm looking forward to that.
Dude, it's so cool. And the crazy thing is, I built all that, and because I'm never there, I never get to use it. But if I spent more time in my area, I'm sure it's called the Sanctuary. But I'm sure I'll get attacked, and death claws will come flying in and everything.
Yeah.
It's just, I love it. I don't know what it is. I really love. It's on equal, I think, to Skyrim for me.
Really?
Because I play Skyrim. I had it over Skyrim for the longest time. Skyrim is just, they're so different. They're both open world.
They're similar and different, yeah.
Skyrim's very. This is gonna sound weird, but it's very life based. It's animals and plants and dragons, and there's a lot of life. Fallout's very technology based
and radiated
in a way
life.
In a way that technology actually fucked up the animal life.
Right.
And I mean, it's so cool. I love them both. But Fallout 4 is so immersive. And maybe that's just kind of the one downfall of Skyrim is because it's how many years old already. If they had a brand new Skyrim, it'd probably, I'm assuming it'd be more immersive, more shit going on.
Well, we're about to get one.
Even the update that they brought, they added some things. I think it's just because
I the Legendary Edition with the mods and everything. Yeah,
the mods, and I didn't have the DLC originally, so that added a lot to it.
Lots to this. Yeah, I think I love
Fallout 4 is. Sorry, go ahead.
I would say I love the setting of Skyrim and Elder Scrolls in general way better. I never disliked Fallout, but I never just got as obsessed with it as I did with Elder Scrolls. I think I finished the campaign of 3, but I honestly can't remember because we were playing that. Because I was living with Butterclone back then, and he picked it up. Like we went together to get it from GameStop when it came out, because he had been following it and he knew all about it, and I was clueless. And I was like, "What the fuck is this game about? Like nuclear wasteland? That sounds boring as hell." And then we fell in love with it and played it like obsessively for a few months. I don't remember if I actually beat the campaign or not. Like that's like I enjoyed it and I was like into it for a little bit, but I wasn't obsessed. Like Skyrim, we played nonstop for like 4 years straight, man. But I don't know. I just like the fantasy setting of Elder Scrolls way better.
Yeah, I think I disagree. I don't know why.
You can't disagree that I like the fantasy setting better.
See, I like the landscape and I don't know.
Full
I like the
disclosure.
landscape of Skyrim better because you have rivers and shit and there's mountains and waterfalls and butterflies and all this shit. So it's cool. Like when you're walking around, you just see stuff and you're like, wow, that's actually pretty fucking cool.
Right.
But in a wasteland, like there's no snow. It's just you got green water that's poisoning you. Fuck that.
Now, I haven't gotten too far into 4, and I can guarantee that the world is much more rich than it was for Fallout 3. Because that game is 2008, 2009, I think. So I'm sure it's like the world itself is much more diverse and everything. So I'm sure I will have a different opinion on it as I go through this one. But
yeah, and it's cool because there's like a whole underground map too.
Oh shit! Nice.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. Like you'll go into something and then all of a sudden there'll just be a door and you'll be under the city. And you're like, what the fuck is happening? There'll be ghouls and goblins down there and Spider-Man.
Those mods that they were talking about during the Patreon call sound fucking tasty.
See, I'm not a big mod person because I just like to play the game as it was set up. But if it adds,
fucking
dude,
purist.
the one that Brian showed us where it was like a
you sound
scary
like an original trilogy fan. Fucking purist.
Yeah.
No.
Don't touch it.
Don't mess with stuff.
Don't make it better. So yeah, I can't say anything. I'm not done with it. And it's almost like I accidentally came across the main quest. I hate calling it a quest. Main mission.
Quest thing.
Quest mission.
It's Lord of the Rings quote. You wouldn't understand.
Job. So.
Wait, you haven't beat it at all? I thought you beat it. Like when it first came out, I thought you played it all the way through.
So many fucking hours on it, and I never got through it because it's just like Fallout. It's just like Skyrim, where you could play the game endlessly without doing the main quest.
Yeah.
And even if you do the main quest, you could still play it endlessly.
Let's just sit back and acknowledge how awesome Bethesda is. Like the way that they make their games is fantastic, and the fact that you can put 300 hours into a game and not beat it is fucking crazy.
Yeah, and I think it's all good. It's all good. I enjoy it. It's cool. I'm excited for you to actually get into it.
Yep.
Pay attention to the weather because that's the fucking coolest thing. When it first happened, I got goosebumps. I was like, what the fuck is happening right now? And I think I was on live Pat was like, I think I was living with Pat when it happened. And he was laughing. He's like, oh, thunderstorm, huh? I was like, yeah, that's fucking terrifying. That's so cool.
Yeah, I'm excited to hear it on the surround sound headphones too.
Do it. Turn it up.
One thing I will say, it is way easier to get into it. I feel like when Fallout 3 at the very beginning of the game, all you had was that 10 mil pistol and like a terrible rifle, and you were kind of stuck with those for a while. This one, by the time you go through the whole Minuteman thing and get the power armor, you have like 6 or 7 different types of guns and a whole bunch of different armor that you can totally like look whatever way you want and find whichever kind of gun style you like, if you like the rifles or the pistols or whatever. So it's way more welcoming to like get started early on, which is nice. Because I feel like we were talking about
the tutorial is only like 15-20 minutes if you run through it real quick.
Yeah. I know you were talking about...
But the tutorial's even fun because you grab a fucking minigun and go at it.
Yeah, that was crazy, man. I didn't expect that to happen so early on. I know T-Dot talked about it when he was on, but I didn't expect it to like... The power armor's here, and now you can continue using it every time you have a power cell. I was like, well, Jesus. You couldn't get that till like 25 hours in Fallout 3.
Right. I do have to say, I wish they made an open world Fallout 3 because I do like the DC. I like running around like killing mutants next to the Washington Monument because that's fucking badass. But I also really, really enjoy playing it in Boston because you have the whole harbor aspect of it, and it adds so much.
Yeah.
There's a lot of police department kind of ingrained into the story.
Mm-hmm.
So there's different police department factions and locations, and it's so cool. As well as like the subway. Like it's a major city, so you can get into the subways and that sort of thing.
Right. Sounds sweet.
It's cool. It's just fun.
Yeah, so ever since E3 and the Fallout 76 news, I bought this Fallout 4 Game of the Year edition with all the DLC and everything. I just been waiting to play it, so I'm glad I started. And it'll be good to get through this from now until November, until Fallout 76 comes out. And we have started doing a lot more live streams of video games besides the episodes as well. So make sure you are checking out the YouTube and checking out the Twitch. We will be streaming that, and I guess I'll mainly be playing Fallout 4, and then Tommy Boy and the House of Goons over there on Summit Street got me to get Overwatch today too. So I started fucking around with Overwatch.
Great.
It's weird. I think I'll like it, but it's weird. It feels like Destiny and Halo and kind of shit, which I haven't played for a long time. So
this new Star Wars game that was released for E3, the information, this better be fucking good, because if it's not, Disney needs to do something with EA, like cut the contract up or something, because if they fuck around with a third game and they fuck it up, that's not good.
Do you want to talk about the roadmap and everything?
What? Say it. What?
Roadmaps? Did I not send that to you? I thought I did.
What was it?
So at E3 they announced all the new shit that they were going to do to fix the game that they fucked up. It's been out for almost a year. They were planning on releasing what they call a roadmap, which just shows you like all the DLC that's popping up. Let's see if I can send it to you. Let's see if I can put it here. Copy image address. Boom. So people were waiting for this, waiting ever since E3 started, and they just released this on Friday. It's kind of frustrating. Very frustrating. So what we and a lot of other people understood from the E3 thing was that we're going to get, first of all, they said summer. Unless I misheard something blatantly, they said summer. And they said Obi-Wan, Grievous, Dooku, and Anakin, and they did not mention that they would be coming separately. And they also mentioned Geonosis. So when we finally get this roadmap thing here, it says July. Jesus. Okay, so there's Hero Starfighters, there's some extra shit coming, some more skins, blah, 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 blah. Heroes can turn their lightsabers on and off in battle. Why? And then August, Clone Trooper appearances, emotes. Okay, great. Nothing substantial.
Emotes are so stupid. That's all of August. Is you're going to give me a, you got it.
Yeah,
great.
Exactly. Well, if I could do this with Lando, I think it'd be worth it. Fall, Obi-Wan and Grievous. New large-scale mode, which I'm assuming is going to be Conquest. They teased it, but they didn't say it's going to be Conquest. And then more appearances. And the squad system. Squad system finally coming in the fall. Finally.
Year and a half after they released the goddamn game.
And then in winter, we get Anakin and Dooku, and we get Geonosis. One map in a year. One new map in 12 months.
Well, that's not completely true. We got Jabba's Palace and Kessel.
I lied about that. 3 new maps in a year. Yeah, it's just crazy, man. Like we've complained about the game when it came out. I kind of took a break. We got back into it like a month ago, and it was going okay. And I try to be like, I'm not going to not shit on the game because it has obvious issues, but I was trying to be optimistic about the devs. Like some of the developers seem like they're really trying to make the game good, but they're just held up by EA being corporate bullshit that keep pushing stuff back or not approving stuff or whatever. So like I'm sympathetic that these guys are trying to make a good Star Wars game and they're Star Wars fans, but it's just one thing after another. Just they promise this and they get pushed back like 3 months or it doesn't come through at all. It's just one thing after another. It's just fucking obnoxious. Geonosis in winter.
Oh, man.
And not to mention, like, you can't even get to all the maps at all the times or all the game modes at all time because they like
don't even get me started.
They only let you play certain things at certain times, which is so fucking obnoxious.
We played Endor 3 out of the 4 goddamn times today. I was just
Endor has been on the map shuffle since the game came out. I'm always on Endor. It's fucking obnoxious. It's just, I don't know. It's just frustrating. I think I uninstalled it.
It's very weird because it's like an every other week thing. We played probably for a couple hours today. I didn't see Starkiller once. I didn't see Crate once. Usually I'm stuck on Crate half the fucking time.
Yeah.
I didn't see Takodana. I didn't see Hoth. I didn't see it was every jungle map except for it was Endor
And Yavin.
and Yavin over and fucking over.
Yeah, it's just weird that like they only allow certain maps in the rotation at certain times. I don't know why you wouldn't have all of them available. That's the first time I've ever heard of a game doing that. Is like the devs are going to activate and deactivate certain maps at certain times. Just seems weird.
Why? Yeah, why?
To change up like how often you get to certain maps, I guess. I don't know.
Well, just let me choose the goddamn map, and it'll change every fucking time.
Yeah. So what we're looking at is like the game will have been out a year this November, and we'll have gotten 6 new heroes total that weren't available at launch, and 4 new maps that weren't available at launch. I don't know. When you look at games like Fortnite that are putting out new content every week, new skins and stuff like that every week, it's just, I don't know, it just falls short, and it's unfortunate.
Done with Battlefront talk right now. I'll still play it. I enjoy it. It's fun. I mean, we played, I think, 5 rounds today, and 3 of them came to overtime, and we were down, like, we had to take it over, and we did, but it was like an added 20 minutes of just, oh my god, someone get in the area, we're fucking losing it, and then it's fun, and it all happened in one room. There's lightsabers flying all over the fucking place and people dying.
It can be fun. No doubt about that, eh? Yeah, it can be fun. It's just when you go back and play like multiplayer games that are balanced and smooth and have easy matchmaking, it really just starts to open up your eyes to how bad Battlefront can be. So it is fun, but I'm taking a break from it, playing some other shit.
I think your mistake was you kept doing heroes versus villains. Man, I just always do Galactic Assault, and I just love it.
It's just really tough when you have to play as a team and no one's playing as a team. It just gets annoying. Because like I'll play the 2v2 heroes and do perfectly fine, and then switch to the 4v4 with a group or with some randos, and it's a completely different experience because everyone's like off on their own doing random shit. No one's paying attention.
Once you get killed, you get spawned on the furthest point, and then by the time you get back, you're already fucked. So
yeah,
I think
the spawn points are rough too.
Well, the spawn points are all over the fucking place.
Fucking terrible.
But yeah, I don't know. I could, if I default to Galactic Assault, I always have fun because you can change the course of a battle in that grand scheme of, because that can be a long game. That could be an hour-long game. So, like, you could start off really bad, lose 75 people, but still take the point and move on to the next one. Now you get another 50,
right? And
you could really start rolling, and then you could get potentially back up to 100.
It's possible.
So, maybe.
I care.
Oh, buddy boy.
So we'll see. We'll see if I like Overwatch, but definitely excited about Fallout 4. And I've actually been craving.
I'm not spending any more money on these fucking multiplayer games. Overwatch, PUBG, Fuck Night. I can't handle
Fallout Fuck Night. What was I going to say? Oh, I have been having the itch to play Forza. I kind of feel like I should wait without buying anything new because the Horizon 4 comes out in October, I think. But I haven't played one of the regular Forza games in quite a while, and I've been having kind of a craving to go back and do that. I don't know. Nicole Serrano, welcome. Did you miss anything good?
She asked, did I miss anything good? Shinobi says, no, not really. Hey, now.
Nah.
Oh, buddy.
What'd you miss? Jackass. So we'll see, man. But I am, like I said a few episodes ago, as I repeat myself, you basically could just listen to one episode of this show and understand what the last 150 episodes actually sound like.
Battlefront's
but
okay.
Like I said,
I'm
I'm glad that I'm back in gaming mode because I was out of it for a while. So it's good that I'm kind of excited about games and shit. Yeah. Boom.
Yeah, jumped onto StarCraft. It was fun.
Oh, nice.
I don't know. What?
I don't think you've talked about StarCraft. I saw you post a pic in the group chat. I just didn't know if you were going balls deep.
I mean, that's kind of my fault, too. It's such an old game. I have it on my work computer, too, and they revamped it. So
Nice.
if I'm out on the road, I want to play something. I don't bring my Xbox with me. So, one because I'm going to West Virginia. You saw how that worked out for Dane and his Wi-Fi.
Oh, poor Dane.
No, I really truly enjoy StarCraft. It's such a simple and unique game all at the same time. I would recommend it for anybody who likes Age of Empires. It's the same thing, but with only 3 options of people. It's aliens.
Factions,
But they for 3 different factions, but it makes so much sense. The strongest faction, but they can't fly. The quickest spawning people, but they're not that strong. Like it makes the triangle of power in that fucking game makes so much sense. Oh my God. Everybody's got an advantage and you've got to play to your advantage or you're going to lose. So it's cool.
That's what intrigued me. So Butterclone and Zach and Tommy Boy said get Overwatch, and I watched some videos first. And that's what intrigued me. It's by Blizzard. It's the same developers. And they were like, it's the biggest, most complicated game of rock, paper, scissors ever. Because, and exactly what you just described, that must be like one of their things, is like, there's like 25 characters, but they're all, like some of them are all balanced so well. Some people are obviously tanks, but they can't move fast, but whatever. So that was interesting. It's good to see that they have things balanced like that. So that intrigued me.
Well, I hate the Superman. Like you can do everything. I can fly. I can go through things. I can see through. I'm also the smartest person ever. Well, come on, man. How am I supposed to? Come on. It's like being Oddjob in 007. You're cheating.
Or like Palpatine in Battlefront.
Dude, he killed me through walls. I wasn't even in the same room, and it said, "Oh, you got killed by chain lightning." Dude,
his lightning goes everywhere, and he can nonstop just jump up and down. He's just floating, and like the lightning auto locks onto everything. So he is just floating up and down, impossible to hit, worse than Boba Fett, and just shocking everything in sight.
Yeah, it is pretty.
Anyways,
there's large parts of that game that are just like, dude, why?
Yeah.
Am I playing this?
Yeah.
But, yeah. Anything else going on, man?
It just sound like a phone vibrating on a table.
No,
nothing major, actually. This might be a shorty.
Can we?
We can't.
Make?
No.
A phone notification vibration where it goes,
Probably.
Instead of having it actually like
you can
sound.
Customize the vibration pattern on the phone.
Man, I'm gonna have to check that out.
I'm gonna have to download that alarm though, because that's a great ringtone. I can't believe I haven't done that before. Or a beer open.
It's a good one.
We should do that. I should pull a few little text tones and let our patrons download them.
Fuck! Oh, I got a text. Sorry.
Just in the middle of church or something. Yeah. Fucking goddamn Star Wars.
Fuck Yoda. For the swarm. All right, guys. Yeah, I think we're going to wrap this up. Beer review. Mine was a C, Quench Ale Session Sour. It was a 2 out of 3. I was actually very happy with it. Dogfish Head. What are black limes? Are they a part of Fallout? Are they fucking engineered belligerents?
Let me see if I can beat. I'm gonna see if I can beat Shinobi again. Black limes.
Black lime. Yeah, they're just
They're like key limes, and they are just as the name suggests, black.
How weird.
They're just black.
They look kind of brown. They kind of look brownish, but the juice inside's black. Whoa. That's cool.
Fuck all that, man.
It's like some Star Wars shit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so 2 out of 3. I was very happy with it. It wasn't perfect because it's a sour, so it is what it is.
Ain't perfect.
But very well blended.
Nice.
And not too sour. Not too sour. There's always that thing.
Jenny's Elixir from Langrant Hibiscus Pale Ale. It was okay. Interesting flavor. Not really for me. I wasn't really digging it. Just kind of random, and it just didn't quench my thirst, or I don't know. It just didn't sit well with me. But you might like it.
I also when you it's called the Elixir. That makes me think of what's that musical with Johnny Depp? It's his name.
Sweeney Todd.
Sweeney Todd.
I've never seen it.
Because it's actually really fucking funny. It's
what I've
really
heard.
cool. And it's Shadows of Shadows. Everybody knows Tim Burton. But there is a part where there's a street vendor who's selling. It's called the elixir, and he's like, it does everything. You put it on your hair, and it'll give you. You put it on your bald head, it'll give you hair. You'll drink it. It'll fix.
Put it on your balls. You get a vagina instead.
Yeah, you put it on you. Ooh, you dangle it. But Johnny Depp's character grabs it. Sweeney Todd grabs it and looks at it, and he goes, "It's just like yellow." He's like, "This looks like piss," and then he smells it. This smells like piss, and the guy keeps going on. He's like, "This is piss." What are you trying to sell over here? So when you showed the elixir beer, that's the first thing I thought of.
We
This
should
is piss.
do a serious beer review for like Busch Light and just do that.
It smells similar to when you're really dehydrated and you take a really dark pee and it has that really weird smell. It smells something along those lines.
Pretty much that in a can with carbonation.
Pretty pungent of the snow buds. Awesome. So thank you guys for tuning in. We do want to mention our Patreon. We always have a blast with all of our fucking followers and our listeners. So if you guys are big fans of the show, head on over to patreon.com.
Give us money.
Search us up.
Yeah.
And you get a whole bunch of extra shit. Go over there. There's different tiers. You can read the benefits and features and benefits of each tier.
I don't have time to describe that shit right now.
That's it.
I was actually going to stop it at the...
along those lines.
Pretty much that in a can with carbonation.
Pretty pungent of the snow buds. Jesus Christ.
I might stop it there. I don't know.
Ooh. Awesome. Features and benefits of each tier.
I don't have time to describe that shit right now.
Keegan, obviously. It's cool to see Matt Keegan back again. I know the timings are always difficult to sync up with us. So it's awesome. And Miss Nicole Serrano, thank you for jumping on last minute.
Yeah, always.
You didn't miss anything. It's the same old bullshit. So
he's not wrong. All right.
But I will recommend, if you guys are jumping on, if you guys haven't got the Batman, the original
family commentary Batman, yeah, watch it, please.
Go watch that. Sync it up because it's fucking funny. I was laughing my ass off.
I want to put that on YouTube, but I feel like people don't listen to with the film audio. It doesn't really work like it does with Star Wars because we've seen Star Wars a million times. Like I feel like for the Batman one, you really need the visual, and I can't put that on YouTube.
I agree.
It'll get taken down.
I might just do that again.
I can probably just put it as a download on our site, though. People can just get that. No one from the FBI is listening.